Good morning, guys. Good, all joined on time. I think Jayana, Nitya, not connected audio. So I have to. Okay, Nitya connected and Jayana. Okay, I think all joined. Very good. Okay, we will start. So yeah, in the WhatsApp, I'm able to see a lot of you sent your program. Any of you have any doubt, anything you are not able to do, or any which Mahalakshmi did not clear your doubt? So if no doubt, we can go to next topic, or if anyone want to ask anything, please, you can ask, unmute, ask, or you can send in the chat message.
I didn't work on that bus seat booking. So multiplication I did.
Okay.
This is Harsha here.
Yeah, Harsha.
Bus seat booking, I didn't get the logic actually, but after in Google, I got the logic. So I didn't write
Do
the
that.
program.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But I couldn't do by my own. That's all.
Okay, okay, okay. Something, yeah, that is very important. It's very good. You shared what exactly happened. Yes, first you try to spend a lot of time thinking manually how you are calculating, if you are solving some problem, what you are thinking, the way you are thinking, okay, that you have to follow and put it on the paper. First, what we are doing manually, that micro steps, how you do manually, that we have to write down. This is very important for, if you want to become very good programmer. Suppose if I ask you, which is the biggest number in this? Harsha,
Yeah.
can you tell me which is the biggest number, largest
8.
number in
8.
8? Your answer is right. But do you know how did you found this 8? What is the steps you followed?
By observing, like seeing the
Just
Like-
by saying, okay,
line by line. Yeah.
let's me put. Suppose if it is all these
Okay.
numbers
It will be little bit complex.
complex, you will be doing something, right? You will do
Yes.
some work, but still you will be able to identify the answer. But there is something you are doing actually, your brain is doing that.
Mhm.
When it is only 2-3 numbers, even without knowing, we are answering it so immediately. The brain is so fast actually, compared to even computer.
Yes.
It is too fast. You are telling answer is 9, but we don't know how we decided it is 9, because these all smaller than that. So there is some logic, there is some step we do. That steps you have to identify, that micro steps, and come up with the logic. You can try to write program for this also. Take maybe 4 input and try to find which is the biggest number out of 4. But the same program should work later if you go for 400 numbers also. When lakhs of people give the exam, who's the top rank holder? Immediately we can identify, right? Which is the biggest number we have to calculate from all. So first thing is, you try, spend some time. How can we do that with our own statements? If this is greater or that is greater, how we can make that steps you try to follow, that habit you try to build. If you build, you can become very successful. If something doesn't come, it's okay. You can look at Google, you already tried. Someone might have already done, you try to understand what they have done. Then it will look very simple. This is something that is very essential for good programming. You have to think how you solved it. You solved it, but we have to follow the steps. How I told it is directly 8. 8 is the big number. So something you try. Maybe you can try to write the program for this. You will get some idea. You have to spend a lot of hours. That is the only drawback in this programming. It is like solving puzzles. If there is some puzzles, it will be a simple answer. But to get that simple answer, we have to think so much. Morning, evening, night.
Yes.
Okay. We have to think. Then sometimes we will get. At least out of 5, 2, 3 we can solve. Something like that. Here also you have to spend a lot of time. Okay. How many of you already completed that birth for a seat number? Harsha, that you did, and a lot of people, I don't remember the name you have shared, but a lot of people sent only that multiplication table, but not that seat. That means
So
still many, yeah.
I have done, sir. Kishore.
Sure, okay, you did it. Very good.
Sir, I have done.
Okay, you are able to do very good.
Hello, sir. This is Jain. I have done that multiplication.
You-
and,
Okay, multiplication and also that seat birth.
yeah, I tried that. I tried with if else, and then I tried to do with while, but somehow is at some place is just
Still, okay.
going in looping. I'm
Okay, okay.
trying with a while.
Okay, okay. Fine, no problem. And Manuram, what about you?
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good
How to
morning.
try it over, sir?
You have to try that,
make it out.
okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
just think, but manually, if I say seat number is 22, somehow you can do it, but there is some step, very simple logic. But I'm leaving it open so that, you can spend some time in thinking. It will make you, it's a good exercise for your brain. Any programming is. Okay, all right. So a lot of people done very good. And,
I attempted with the switch statement, sir. I think.
okay, no
that is-
problem. I'll tell you what is the logic you have to do. Suppose if it is up to 1 to 8, no problem. We know that 1 means lower birth, 2 means middle, upper, etc. But again, if it is repeating, so after 8, again it is repeating. Keep that word. After 8, it's repeating again. Then after 16, again it will go from lower, middle, upper. So in multiples of 8, it is repeating. So after 8, if it is balance is 1, then it is lower. If it is 2, middle, something. So keep that logic. So if there is any number in multiples of 8, it will go lower birth to side upper. Then again it will come to lower. So after multiples of 8, what is the remaining number which you are not able to divide? And we have seen the modulus function, If you put modulus operator, you will get the remainder after 8, after divided by 8. What is the remaining value? So whatever number user gives, if you put modulus operator 8, then you will get a remaining. If it is 17, 2 8s or 16, you will get remaining is 1. So if the remaining is 1, then it has to be lower birth. 2, middle, 3, side upper. So it will continue always. So any number you divide by 8 and you get the remaining value, then that way. This is, I gave you hint, almost I answered it. So if some people not tried, you can try with that logic. Okay, so if you don't have any other serious doubt, then I'll go to next topic. And in the last class, I think we have seen while loop. If you want any infinity loop, you can always put while true, open bracket, close bracket. So this may be the easiest way of making an infinity loop. It should always ask. As long as you enter a number, it will tell you what you are eligible. So you can keep that in mind. And I think you guys don't have a doubt on how to use while loop or how to use do, then while loop. Do means once it will do, then it will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will repeat. All right. Now we will see one more. So in case of printing that multiplication table, you can use while loop. I think you guys are using if more than 100, you come out of the loop. Okay, now we are going to do that same, this while loop, using some other loop. That is called for loop. For, the syntax for loop is for, open bracket, close bracket, and in between 2 semicolon. After for loop, this body, if you want multiple statements. So for, inside the bracket, 2 semicolon, then open bracket, close bracket for the body. This same, I'll remove this. Let's say if let's say a equal to 1, if a is less than 10, you print A. Done. So now what will be the output for this program? Forget this. What will be the output for this program?
1.
1,
1. So only 1 will be printed in the
One.
console.
Yes.
Only 1,
1 to 9,
1 to 9. Any other? So only 1, 1. And only 1, 1 to 9. Any other answer? How many output? 9 output, 1 to 9, or only one, single one. Any other answer?
One.
One, just one, always. Okay, let's see single one or. See, it's doing so many one. One.
Same thing repeating.
Yeah, because it never stops.
Yes.
A is 1 and 1 is always less than 10 and it is always printing 1. So if I want to print 1 to 9, what should I do?
A is equal to A plus 1.
increment that.
You have to
Yeah.
increment.
Yes, you have to increment A equal to A plus 1. So every time 1 will be increased and up to 9 it will print.
Yes.
And I can say increment of 2. Now what will be the output?
2, 4, 6, 8.
2, 4, 6, 8 or anything?
No.
1, 3,
Yes, it's one.
1,
1, 3, 5.
1, 3, 5,
5, 7.
7.
7, 9, 9.
9. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Very good. So you can say A equal to A plus 2 or A equal to A plus 5. So whatever you want, you can put. So I want to print 5, all multiples of 5s. So you can put up to 100, starting with 5, and every time 5 increment. So 5, 10, 20 up to 95. All right. So this concept is very clear. Now the same thing I can achieve through some another loop called for loop. So here what I did, initially I kept some value, that is a starting value, A equal to 5. The same thing I can put it here, before that first semicolon. And because, okay, I'll comment to this because already A is there, so it is not allowing me to do. So the first integer A equal to 5, I put it in the before semicolon. When the loop should break, as long as when the loop should repeat, as long as this condition is true, the loop will repeat. So that condition I'll copy, I'll put it here after the first semicolon. And what is the increment you want? Every time I'm increasing 5, 5. So that increment I'll keep it in. So what you are going to achieve in the while loop, the same thing you are going to achieve in the for loop. But here it is in 3 different lines. Here initial value, here condition, and here increment. So instead of that, initial value how much? When it should break, when it should repeat. And each time how much increment you want. That's all. Put all in one line. Then what is supposed to do? That you put it in the loop. Okay. So you will get the same output. So out of these two, for this particular task, maybe this looks simpler. Instead of 3 lines and in one line, we can say initial value, condition, increment, all. But if condition is, depending upon the user value or some other situation, you may have to use while loop. But lot of tasks you can achieve using this or this. If you have to make a cylinder, you can draw circle and extrude. You can draw rectangle and revolve. You can even directly create cylinder. So you can't say which is the better method. All look same, but maybe directly creating cylinder is better. But if you draw circle and extrude, there is nothing wrong. But there may be some other shape where you have to use revolve only, better method, or extrude only will be a better method. Same things. It's a looping. Sometimes this will be very useful. Sometimes this will be very useful. Particularly if you know what is the initial value, what is the condition, and if it is a fixed number, 5 to 100, I want to print, or I want to do something else, then preferably you can go for loop. Or if it is some other condition, for example, you take a input from the user and check that if that value is that, you do, maybe sometimes you will use while loop. But at this moment, you don't worry where to use while loop or where to use for loop. Keep in mind, while loop can be used like this and for loop can be used like this. So here also there is some initial condition, but this initial values and all not mandatory for the while loop. You can remove. The conditions may be something else. You can put directly true also. You can make infinity loop. But here, if you want to achieve that same, then yeah, you can fake everything. Initially, A is 5. If A is less than 5, it will never be less than 5. And I'm not giving any increment, or A equal to A. So this also will make infinity loop. But instead of I do this, too many things, better I can go for this. Or here, instead of I check the condition, I can put true also. But this and all, why it is? But for loop, it is mandatory. You have to give some initial value, some increment. That is mandatory. But while loop, that is not mandatory. Whether you have initial value, you have increment, it doesn't matter. As long as this condition is true, it will repeat. But for loop, there is some initial value, there is some condition, and there must be some increment. All right. So where to use for loop, while loop, you will come to know automatically based on the situations. We are going to use it in many places. That will give you a lot of idea. Okay, in this situation, we can use this. In that situation, we can use that. All right. But you should know to use both the loop. How to use while loop, how to use for loop. So is this clear, guys? For loop, how to use?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this while loop also I can modify. Instead of printing 5 to 95, I want to print 95 to 5. Then what I have to do? So initial value, I'll keep it 95. As long as A is greater than or equal to 5, you print. And every time A
-5.
minus 5. The same thing you can do here also. Initial value 95. If A is A is greater than 5, you repeat. So 95 will be greater than 5. 90 will be greater than 5. 85. So up to 5, it will be greater than or equal to 5. Every time you can decrease that decrement. So now it should, okay, I'm increasing 5. So it should be, in for loop, this is not required. See, nobody noticed me because you are giving increment here. But one thing you must try and understand how this for loop works. So did I tell you about this F11 anytime before?
No,
No.
no, sir.
Okay. Okay. So if you see, I have so many programs here. I have something here. So where your program starts and how your program line by line executes, if you want to understand, okay, you can understand by clicking debug, step into. You can also press F11 key. In some keyboard, you have to press function and F11, but you have to execute F11, that's all. So I'm clicking in this. So it will execute the program line by line. Okay, it's a console application, so it keeps the console ready. And in the program, first your program will begin in the main method. So this is the main method starting point. So this is the first line of your program execution. Now, if I click this or if you press F11, it will go to next line. The next line where it is going here because these are all commented, suppressed. So it will ignore all the lines. It will directly go to the next line here. And in this line also, first it is checking what initial value you are assigning before the first semicolon, whatever it is there, that it is executing. So now if I keep the mouse, A is 0. A is 0. Integer A means A will become 0 by default. But I'm assigning A equal to 95. A will become 95 after execution of this particular line, that particular statement, before that semicolon. It's not yet executed. It's going to execute. Now A value is 0. If I go to next step, so that A equal to 95 is executed. Now A value become 95. Now it's going to check A is greater than or equal to 5 or not. So right now, if you keep your mouse, it says true. A is greater than or equal to 5. 95 is greater than or equal to 5. Yeah, it is true. If it is true, then it will go inside that for loop. It will do console.writeLine. See, it's going to execute it. A value is 95. In the console, it is nothing is there right now. But if I click next step, that is executed. Now you see 95 is printed. Now it comes to the end of the for loop. But from here, where it goes, that is very important. It goes to that for loop after your second semicolon. Okay, now what is the A value? It is not yet completed the execution. It's still 95. Now if I click, it completed that execution. Now A value become 90. And is 90 is greater than or equal to 5? True. So it will go inside, print. It printed 90. So it will keep going. You can go. This, where it goes and comes, you have to follow carefully. So checking, going to increment, then going to condition. If it is true, it will go inside. It will go to increment or decrement. Check the condition, go inside, execute all the program. So as long as, let me see how much it is printed, 65 only. So I'll execute little more. See that initial value is only once. Initial value is only once. But after that, oh, now it's done. It printed all 5, then it becomes 0. So now also you can go and check what is the A value now. No, it shows just A. No, I think now it came to the end. Otherwise, you will see now A is having no scope. Once you came out of this loop, A has no value because that A is declared inside this for loop. Integer A equal to 5. That means that A is accessible only within this for loop. Suppose the same program, I can do it slightly different like this also. I can say integer A equal to 95. Here also I can use that A, no problem. Or I can remove this 95 if you have also no problem. So I declared A as an integer where not inside the for loop but outside the for loop. That means inside this body, correct? That A is in that body. If I minimize this A is outside that body. Okay, so now this A is accessible after this line till end of this bracket. Till here, that A will have some value. Now I'll just make it 20. and run this program. Debug, step into. Go to here. So a value is, when you say integer a, it will become 0. But now it is going to make it 20. So now a is 0, but when you go to complete that statement, a will become 20. Now a is 20. Okay, wherever you have, it will show a is 20. But the condition is true. So it goes inside. Now a become 15. Now a is 10. Condition is true. A is 5. Condition is true. Now a is going to be 0. Right now 5. Now a is 0. So a is 0. Condition is false. So it will come here. Even though it came here, if I go and check the value of a, it is 0. Still it is showing the value because the last value was 0, right? So the last value was 0. So that value it will show. Even if I say console.writeLine a here, it will print 0 because that a is available till end of this bracket. But a is declared inside means that is available only within that loop. Is that point clear? That is called scope of a variable. This variable is declared here, though the scope is not here. Here you can't check the a value because it's declared here. And from there till end of this line, it has the scope. You can use that a anywhere, in any statement. You can increase the value, decrease the value, use it in any formula, or you can print in the console the value. Anything you can do. You can use that value till the end of that scope. The scope is ending here in this bracket. Okay, let's do one more thing. Now, I want to print up to 100, but I don't want to wait one by one. I don't want to do that. Okay, I want here, I'll write something, console.writeLine. A, you print A. Console.writeLine, you print a square. Right. It is possible because I declared it here. Suppose if I declare that here, integer a, because I declared here, I cannot declare again inside. I have to use another variable. But if I remove this, then this is not a problem. I can declare inside, I can do. But because I declared inside, the scope is only within this bracket. Here it is having no scope. So the error is saying that the name A does not exist in the current context. So at this point, the program doesn't know what is A. So whenever you see the error, the name variable does not exist in the current context means the A is not having scope here. You declared it, that is not available here. So you have to check where you declared A. If you select A, but anyway, you can't. So you know that you declared here, it will come. Now, suppose I declare it there. I'm not declaring here, but I can use that A. All right, now I can print. Now what I want is, if I run, I'll get the output, no doubt, 100 to 0, but 5, then 2 zeros in the end. I'll keep it A is 100, A equal to A minus 3. Every time 3, I want to reduce or keep it 4. So now run this. So 4, it is decreased. Then last you have 4 value and 16 is the square. But I want to check step by step. So you go to debug, step into this, you know, because just now I told you. But if I do like this, I have to click at least 50 times, 20 times, sometimes 500 times, 1000 times, and it will be too hectic. But what I want to do is, actually I want to stop the program at this line. Complete this loop. Here I want to know what is the A value. So what you can do is, you can click at this line, that is line number 29. If you go to the beginning, there is, if you click, you will get one red mark. Again, if you click, the red mark will go away. That is called breakpoint. You go to see here, toggle breakpoint, F9. Okay, so you can click line number 29 and press keyboard F9. Again, you press F9, that is toggle between breakpoint, add breakpoint or remove breakpoint. I can put one breakpoint here, one more breakpoint here, one more breakpoint here. So any number of breakpoints you can put. So now, what happened? Okay, so wherever you want, you can put that breakpoint. Now, when you just declare, actually the line will not go to there. That is why you are not able to put the breakpoint. Now what I do, I'm going to debug it. Step into. So the program, okay, the program is started here. And okay, I'll stop this. I don't want to go line by line. I'm going to run this program. Start. So instead of going line by line, directly it will stop at your first breakpoint. I can check A value is 0. Now, if I say continue, it will go and stop at the next breakpoint. So already A become 100, condition is true, and it is going to print A. Not yet printed, but it will print. I can go step by step. So it printed A value. I can go step like this, one by one. You can go and check. Okay, it seems all working as per my expectation, but I don't want to go step by step another 100 times. So you can say continue. So means it will go and stop directly at your next breakpoint. Unfortunately, the breakpoint is in the loop. You have to remove that breakpoint. Okay, continue. Now directly it goes to the next breakpoint. So it completed all that 100 condition checking, whatever, 20 or 100, 200. So now it stopped. I can check what is the A value. Okay. After, at the end of the loop, A value is 4. Okay, I can do some checking, then come to the end. So the point is, if you go to debug, step into, it will go line by line. Okay, in loop also, it will show you line by line. If you add a breakpoint, you can say continue. Okay, it will go directly to next breakpoint. In between, it will not show all the step one by one. If breakpoint is here, then another breakpoint is here. If you go step into, it will go one by one all the line. But if you continue, it will complete all the work and directly stop at the next breakpoint. Is this point clear, guys? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is called debugging the program. Means when you don't know why I'm not getting the answer. I was expecting something, but it is giving some other result. You are clueless how to know what is happening in every line. So the best option is debug. Okay, bug means problem. Debug means you are solving that problem. Okay, so you are debugging it. So debug, and you can use step into, that is F11, breakpoint, that is F9. There is something called a step over also that you can't practice now. I'll tell you that later. So that is step into. Anyway, you can go and find that word correctly. Okay, you can put. Okay, continue. Continue means it will go up to next breakpoint. If no breakpoint, it will finish all the work. If there is a breakpoint, it will stop at the breakpoint. If no breakpoint, it will complete everything. Step into means one by one, line by line, step by step. Okay, I think you all clear that. So how you debug the program? So Visual Studio is helping to debug your program. If you don't use Visual Studio, and if you type program in a notepad, then you can't take all these facilities. Okay, where is the error? It's solving immediately. A lot of advantage you have using this Visual Studio. Okay, so this is for loop. This way you can use the for loop. Now, we have seen the conditional statement. There is one more in the conditional statement. Let us take our, so looping is only this much. You have do while loop, do while loop, for loop. And one more we are going to see for each later in the next class, or sometimes we will be using very often this. So looping is only this much. And conditional statements we have checked. If, then if else, or if else if, like that you can keep going. Now there is one more. This is to stop the program. Okay, stop that. Let's say console dot write line, right, enter shape. The same thing I'll take. Whether rectangle or circle, you enter. Store it in a variable that I'll call it string. String, let's say input equal to console dot read line. Now check the condition. If input equal to string R, then do something. If it is string C, then do something else. If it is here, you can say enter length and width, enter length, rectangle length, you can say, and store that in a double L equal to convert dot to double, same thing, console dot read line. I'll just repeat. It is not anything new, but I'm going to show little new. And the same thing for circle. Only thing is enter radius and convert and store it in R. Now calculate the area and print the area. This is store it in W. This you make it width. Okay, this we have already seen this program. Now, so you know what this program will do. If I press R, it will ask length width. If you press C, it will ask enter radius, and you can calculate the area also, or directly you can print console.write line area equal to plus L into W. It is not mandatory always, but better you put that bracket. And in case of circle, area equal to pi 3.14 you can use, or you can say math dot pi into R into R. Then just wait for me. This one I'll comment. Okay, I don't want any breakpoint. Start. So if I press R, it will ask length and width, I'll get area. And if I press C, it will ask radius, I'll get area. Very good. So if it is one condition, two conditions, you can do, this is okay, absolutely okay. But here the thing is, first it will check this. If it is true, it will execute. But again, it will check this. Compulsory, it will check. If it is else, then it will not check. If it is false, then it will check here. If it is true, then this will not check at all. It won't check. It won't check whether it is C or not. If this is true, then it won't check here because of the else. This if, else if, else if, else if, I have 20 conditions for 20 different shape. Rectangle, circle, triangle, okay, hexagon, octagon, whatever, for everything. So if 10 times you have to put if, else if, else if, else if, else if, the same thing you can put slightly different using some other way, that is switch your condition, that is input. Switch input, open bracket, close bracket, and case R colon. What you want to do, I want to do all these things. Sorry. In the end, put one break. My keyboard B is not working. So this is case R. Input, in case if it is R, do this and break. Same thing you can copy paste for every case. If it is C, if it is D, if it is V, whatever. So in case of R, do this work and break. In case of C, then do this work. So if it is R, it will do this work. If it is C, it will do this work. And like that for everything, you can use this case. Now I'll stop this. You can also say something called default. If it is default, I think this break not required. You can say, please enter valid shape. I think I forgot the syntax. What do we use? Default or something else? Okay, let me check. I think I forgot that. C#.
The break is missing.
We don't have break, we have break. Here also break. Okay, colon break. That's all, okay. So I think this break also please put, I thought maybe not required, okay. So this is nothing but lot of if else conditions. If this is true, do this, else, if this is true, do this. So if, else if, else if, else if, you can achieve using this also. But there is only one small advantage. Here every time you have to say input equal to R, input equal to C. Let us assume that instead of input, I have stored this one as a, let us say, user entered input, or I'll say user defined shape, something in a long variable name, something very meaningful name. And the condition is not just R, rectangle or center plate diameter. Let us say this is center plate diameter, center plate thickness. Then here what I have to do, center plate thickness equal to, the condition is that divided by this minus 2 or something. If it is very long, so this is also long, that is also long. Every time you have to type that center plate thickness equal to this, center plate thickness equal to this, then center plate thickness, here only one center plate thickness. If it is this, do this. If it is this, do this. So you are not repeating that. That's one small advantage. And also maybe program will look little more clear. Okay, case or case C like this. But here you can put multiple conditions or and the rectangle input equal to rect, like that. Multiple conditions you can put. Here also you can put multiple condition, case or otherwise case rec. So you can do like this, multiple cases in next line, or you can put it in the same line also. Okay, in the same line also you can put case or also do this. In case if it is rec also do this. If it is very long conditions, you can put it in the next line. In case of or, in case of this, in case of this, you do this, either this or this. Or only here. Otherwise, and if you want to use here itself, you have to use in case maybe you can try this. I'm not sure, but yeah, you can put maybe directly. How will you use multiple conditions? Case or first I'll correct this. No, I think for that situation, you won't use this switch case. Input equal to or, if it is or, it is never going to be another. No, you can't use that. I'm sorry. So because this is the one condition, if it is equal to this, you do this, or equal to this, you do this. That is the purpose we are coming to switch. In case of like this complex conditions, maybe you can go for if and else if only. I'll keep it So the main purpose we are coming to switch is I no need to type this input again and again. If it is input, just a 4-5 character, it's okay. But if it is center plate thickness or something, long center to center distance, distance between two pulleys. So every time I don't want to type distance between two pulley equal to this, distance between two pulley equal to this. I don't want to type. That is the reason you are coming to switch case. Okay. So if in that case, you can go for switch. One condition, only the right hand side, if it is R or rec or rectangle, do this. If it is C or circ or circle, do this. If none of the above, do this. Default means if it is none of the above, then it will do this. Please enter valid shape and you can say go to enter shape. I can say start. Only in this case, I can say go to start. Or you can say, I want to make infinity loop. You can always say go to start. So run this program. Shape, if it is R, 4, 3, 12. If it is C, 7 radius. So it will keep repeating. Say I entered C8, enter valid shape. R or C. I'm entering T, enter valid shape. I'm entering 7, enter valid shape. So I have to enter only R or C. So is this clear? It's working fine. Only thing is after enter valid shape, I have to go to next line. So I can give one console.write line. Here I need some space. So enter shape. Oh. So 23 by 45 is that, and again it will repeat. So it is very simple. Switch the left hand side in the if condition. What we are doing, input equal to something, input equal to something, or input equal to this input, every case you are writing, right? That you can put it in the switch. That's it. So the left hand side of the comparison, put it here. And in case the right hand side is R rec, do this and break. And do this and break. After break, it will not check any of this condition bill. So is this clear to everyone or any confusions in this?
Clear, sir.
Everyone very clear? Anyone have doubts or you want me to repeat?
Paramount, sir?
Yes.
Suppose the text is too big. So
Yeah.
if you are not using switch, that suppose that input length something is there, can we define that string some alphabet like A is equal to input length, then define there if A is equal to like
Yeah,
that.
instead of that, you can make this itself A, right?
No, I meant like suppose that
You can do that. Yes,
instead of
you can do that. Yes. Yeah, but in that case, directly you can make it a shorter variable.
okay.
You assign to long variable, then you assign to shorter variable.
Yes.
Let's say center to center distance. Center to center distance of pulleys. So like that, between pulleys or something like, you can make it longer as much you want. Okay, now it is there. So now only once you have to put it here in case of switch case. But in case of if else, I have to put it in so many places. Here also, so many places. And If at all any change later on, then again you have to change everything, but here means only once.
Okay.
That's one small advantage. And also look wise, yeah, it may look slightly better. It may look sometimes, but depending on the condition, sometimes you need this, sometimes you need this. Okay.
Okay.
But the syntax format you keep in mind, mostly we use if conditions, but maybe some cases you can use this also. It depends. We have to see that situation, then only we can tell this looks better or that looks better something. All right, so
So one question,
yes,
you used case or case rate. Is it
Right.
works like, is it works like or?
or
Condition.
yes, or it works like a or only. Yeah.
And any other condition, mean like I'm fine, and or not equal, this doesn't work here?
Yeah, that is, I
Switch?
tried. I think it won't work, but maybe I not tried enough. But
Okay.
it looks you can't. Otherwise, I'll let you know. Maybe I'm not knowing how to type it.
Okay.
But if this is equal to, no, I think and the situation will not come, right?
Okay.
If this is equal to either this or this also and this also will never be the case.
Right.
So I think that looks pointless actually. But still, maybe we can keep on option to experiment. Is there any way? But if at all required, you can use it if else. If.
So in case of seat berth example,
You can use
Then-
this switch case.
okay, yeah.
You can use this. So here the condition is seat number mod 8. If the
Okay.
remainder is 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 or 4, yeah, 1 or 4, it will work. R will work anyway here. You can use this.
Okay, sir.
You can use if also, this also. Yes. Okay. So that is for today. So what we have seen so far is data types, you know, conditional statements, you know, then loopings, we know. In conditional statements, we have if, else if, else. Okay, everything has a meaning. Only if or if and else, or if you have if, else if, nested if, else if, else, etc. It will keep going. Then we have switch and case. It is called a switch case statements. Switch case. Then loopings, we have go to is actually not for looping because you can use it for way. Like a loop also you can use it, but you can say from here go to here, from here go to there. So that you should not include in the looping concept. Okay, so one is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. One more for each loop that I'm going to teach you little later. But for now, you practice only this much. Just be very practice, take a lot of project, lot of assignments and do that. Once if you're very comfortable on this, then we can see some better concepts, like, little more advanced concepts we can see from next class. So these are all the basics of your programming. Now we will see little more advanced concept we will see, but please focus on this. If you have any doubt, you can ask or you can, yeah, please, you can leave, Vishal. I stop it today. And Vishnu, yeah, please, you can leave. Okay, guys, I'll share this program. I think somebody has to go to office and close this solution. particularly how to debug the program. Okay, that also. If you all downloaded, we can end this meeting. So I'll give 1 minute. Please download. In case if you're not downloaded, you can let me know.
So this is my first class. How to download? How to
You
find-
can just click that. You see that that 3 dots.
Okay.
From there you can get. See, if you double click, I don't know, it may work also.
We can click on that tick mark file, zip file is there, no? So we can click on that, so it will get downloaded.
Yeah.
I clicked on three dots.
Just click on that file name. Just
Uh,
click to open, it says.
There's a zip file image, right? So you click on that, it will get downloaded.
Sir, I don't see that folder here. Okay, again.
I think you have to see in chat.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
In chat, you can see PSM.
Okay, chart. Okay.
Yeah, you see hi message about that.
Yes.
So you click on that symbol. Zip file folder symbol that you will be able to download.
Zip file.
You just click on
That
that one.
icon, that file icon, just click anywhere, I think you will get.
I click on a folder icon. Okay. For chart, there is a folder icon, right? I click on chart icon. I clicked on there. A chart box is opened.
Yeah, there you
I
see there is one file I shared.
I don't see that, sir. I don't see that.
Looping 2.
No, I don't see that.
Have you seen my hi message?
It is above
Sir.
that high message.
So I see that your hi message.
Above that hi message, what are you seeing?
There is a good morning. There's some. No, I don't see any folder name like that. Look here.
Okay, wait, I'll send once again.
Sir, he's connected with mobile or laptop?
Collected with tab.
Oh.
Sorry?
Then tablet, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
tab.
there will be no option.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Anyway, Mahalakshmi will share you that file.
Okay.
in the
Okay,
WhatsApp.
sir.
Yeah. WhatsApp or email will share you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine. Thank you, guys.
Thank
If
you.
any doubt, please ask her and be clear on these concepts. And tomorrow will be totally, day after tomorrow will be totally new concept. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Parman, sir,
Yeah.
you found one more group or something in WhatsApp?
I have many group.
No,
For this
one
batch,
more.
only one group.
Okay, one more group was created, so that's why I asked. Okay, fine.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.